Hello, I'm Fencka and welcome to the first part of Let's Play Expeditions Viking. Expeditions Viking is an RPG game with turn-based combat from the era of Vikings, as the name suggests. I can be even more specific about the time. We'll be playing around year 790 as the leader of a small Viking village from Jutland, which is today's Denmark. I already played the game a bit because I want to play on the highest difficulty. I needed to make sure that I understand at least the basics of the game, so I know, let's say, the first chapter of the game, and or even though I think I understand now the basics of the game, I'll still leave the tutorials up. The tutorials are in the form of like small pop-ups on the screen, and I want to make sure that you guys can read all of them if you want to. I won't be reading them, but I want to make sure that you can read all these tutorials and all the conversations. There is quite a lot of reading in the games, and I won't be reading everything loud, but I want to make sure that you can read all the text in the game if you want to do so. So it will be available to you, and if you want, you can just pause the game and read all of these texts. I think now we can start the game. So the first step will be character creation, and I've already decided on what I want to play. We could spend quite a long time in the character creation, but I don't want to do that, so I'll quickly create a character. It will be called Acredon, son of Alfgar. Acredon's the name that I'm using pretty much in all my RPGs. As for the face, I kinda like this one, and I'll try to create a character that is similar to the picture. We'll go with blue eyes, and we'll go with, what is this color? Could be this red-ish. Which one is better? Probably this one. Okay, and now let's go with medium build. Face is fine like this. As for the beard, I think this fits. No hair. Clothes. Something a bit more fancy. As a leader, maybe. Something like this. It looks maybe more like a merchant than a warrior, but we don't have to play as a warrior, that's the thing. We can play pretty much it's like or there are like three different ways how we can play the game. Like one is like a warrior, then like a trader, or like a diplomat. And I think this can be both diplomat and the trader, but maybe even the warrior. As a leader of a village, we can have fancier clothes. Just the colors don't fit. We need something like brown, red, or maybe gray, red. Now, this is pretty shiny, but it's similar to what he has. So let's go with that. Not exactly sure if this is something Viking warrior would have chosen. Maybe if he wanted to be camouflaged in the field of strawberries. But, well, it's similar to the picture, so let's go with it. At least you'll be able to recognize our character on the battle map quite easily. So that's the looks, and now about the build. Okay, here primary stats, secondary stats, and here skills. You can see that there are quite a few choices, so I won't even go through all of them. The skills that we can choose are limited by our primary stats, and also secondary stats are affected by the primary stats. I'll quickly mouse over the primary stats so you can know what they affect. And again, just pause the video if you want to read the whole description. And I'll do this only for the primary stats because they are most important, and for example the skills, there are just way too many of them and we'll be here forever even if I was just mousing over them. As for the build, I want to make something like a master archer because from the test run I did, it seems that characters with bows are super strong. So what we need for that is finesse and perception. Maybe perception even more than finesse for the accuracy. So we will have to sacrifice some other stats. And this should be enough to go for maximum finesse and perception. I really want to go basically all in, become a master archer, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to protect our character and make sure that he can just stay behind and kill everyone with his bow. That's the plan. If it doesn't work, you might be in trouble, but hopefully we'll be able to pull it off. As for skills, of course, we have to start working on our skills with bows. We have 50 skill points, but it's not like one rank in a specific skill needs one skill point. Based on how, let's say, strong the skills are, the cost is higher, and you can see that the rank 1 skill with bows is already 9 points, so we won't be able to take that many skills from the start. But as we progress through the game, we'll get more skill points and we'll be able to invest at any time in the game. We can go into like this tab and invest the skill points that we get. Because the bow will be our most important skill, I will mouse over all its ranks. It's not only giving us new, let's say, attacks during combat, but more importantly, it increases our accuracy further and increases our base damage. I would like to start at level 3 because the aimed shot is quite useful. And you can see that we are already down to 14 points. Next, there is one skill that is quite useful, that's Cripple. I want to have at least some kind of crowd control. So we'll take that for 6 points. Here, these stats we'll give to other characters. There is nothing we really need for these skills. These skills we'll be using off combat during camping. We'll get to that later. And this also can wait. The highest priority right now is to get the rank 5 bow skill, then we can invest into other things. But there are still some of these passive skills that I would like to take. These are like, let's say, traits. And I would like to get low profile to decrease the chance that the enemy will target us. We are really not good at taking damage, so let's try to make sure they'll ignore us. Now we are down to 5 points, which means we can't take... Where is it? No. There's one more thing I wanted to take. The Keen Eye. 50% armor piercing. We'll have to wait for that. Basically, once we get the next skill point, I'll try to get the Keen Eye, because the armor piercing will probably be quite important for the archer. And we are missing 1 point, so I have to wait. Okay, this is all. I hope that I'm not making the mistake, because I'm really no expert in the game, but I like the effectiveness of bows from the test run, so I'm trying to go all in and hope that it's going to work. Yeah, now we are done with the character creation, so let's jump to the game, and I will let the intro play, and I'll leave the whole introduction of the story and everything to the game. Yes, I know we can get or invest the remaining points later.
Your father was a great warrior and a good husband, but he was not a strong chieftain to his clan. As he travels to join his brothers in the halls of Valhalla, you must take his place. Our clan is beset by petty squabbles. Some amongst our people would contest your claim to leadership, as they sought discord our neighbor's plot against us. Gather your most trusted clansmen. Together you will face dangers which none can predict. You will be challenged on your leadership, your resolve, your wisdom. Build a ship and take your housecarls across the sea. Power and strength for our clan must be sought outside the Norselands. If you show yourself to be bold, the gods will follow you into battle. Your legacy will live for 1,000 years beyond your time. Our clan must prevail.
Aid me, Odin, in my effort to bind the struggles of the bygone time as glittering light and glass. And here we are, on the feast to celebrate our father, and around the great hall they are sitting basically our rivals, I have to say, the Thanes of other villages. So we'll start here by doing some talking, some basic introductions. It is the evening after your father's funeral. When you close your eyes, the image of his blazing ship shimmers in the dark behind your eyelids. It's not a common ritual this far south, but your mother Astrider. That's one thing about the game. They are horrible names, or most of the names are just almost unpronounceable. So maybe I'll be butchering some of the names, but you'll see what I mean later. Who hails from the land of the Geats insisted on it. All the Thanes of the neighboring clans have come to attend your feast in his honor. Your father may not have been the most successful Thane, but as a warrior he commanded the respect of many. The guests are falling into your longhouse. The Thanes enter first, each trailing a modest group of warriors. Your mother leans in to whisper a few words of advice before she takes her seat. You should greet each of the Thanes before the feast begins, but listen well to their words. Few of them would benefit from making this a smooth transition. It will be important to know where they stand. Okay, and this is the tutorials I left up. So yeah, I'll just make sure that you can read them, but I won't read all of this. And now, we need to talk to everyone. So, where do we start? Doesn't really matter. Let's start down here with Skula Skullcleaver. Skula Skullcleaver is the Thane of Yelling, which borders your area. Yelling is a large territory, and Skula is one of the most powerful Thanes in Jutland. Yelling has, or Jelling probably, has prospered under his rule. Skula pushes himself away from the table with his foot, the chair making a grinding sound across the wooden floor. His face shows earnest sympathy. Akredon, my boy, so sorry about your father. If there's anything the people of Jelling can do to aid you in these trying times, don't hesitate to ask. And now we already have to start the role-playing, and maybe I should let you guys decide on how exactly we're gonna play this. Are we gonna try the warrior way? Are we gonna try trader or a diplomat? And also, how evil do we want to be? Or not exactly evil, let's say how cruel, that's probably a better description, we want to be. And to some extent also, how ignorant do we want to be, and we really want to play a role of almost like a noble as a leader of the village, or if you want to be more humble. Let me know what you would like to see, and I don't mind any of these play styles. So if there is some like consensus that you agree upon specific play style, I don't mind. As I said, I could play in any of these ways. But for now, let's just try to make sure they understand that we can, or that we don't need anyone's help, that we can, or that our village can survive without the help of other clans. Let's answer thank you, but we'll be fine. Yes, of course, I'm sure the clan is in good hands. Still, it can't be easy. Your father was a great warrior. What a stain. No one should, or one should not speak ill of the dead. Skull leans towards you, resting his elbow on the table. Tell me, what are your plans for this place? How will you lead your clan? Maybe let's tell everyone that we want to be able to defend ourselves. Well, tell him this. I don't want to be rude. And I want to look like... I want to make sure that we'll be able to defend ourselves. So... let's say I'll start by expanding our defenses. You really are Alfgar's son, aren't you? Just take care not to lose touch of your people's needs in your eagerness to defend them. What? He lets out a deep sigh and leans back into his seat. I'm sure you know I fought with your father many years ago. We were very much of a similar inclination, he and I. That man had a real taste for battle, not like his brothers. Mark my words, Akrenon, true bonds are forged in battle, not bound in blood. He came to me for advice before he mounted his last journey, on account of my ties to Kaupan. I should have warned him better about what he was getting himself into. What are options? I have no idea what Kaupang actually is, so let's try to find out. What does Kaupang have to do with it? Vikings out of Kaupang have been to the isles across the sea. I've heard many stories about it, since I often go there to trade. Your father wanted to hear if the stories were true. But I've taken too much of your time already. I know you have other guests to entertain. Perhaps we'll talk later after a bit more mead. Skula knows more to himself than to you and turns his attention to the food on the table. So that's one of them. This is these two now. Skaki, this must be the most pathetic meat hall in Jutland. If you're going to insult our host, at least have the sense to whisper. I'd heard Alfgar had neglected his clan for years, but this is just sad. Maybe his son will do a better job. I doubt he'll live long enough to get the chance. We can see that they're already plotting against us. Yeah, this should be another Thane. Halfdan Salmundarson, and this is what I meant when I said that there are many names that will be very hard to pronounce. This is actually still easy, but it'll be much worse. Halfdaner is the Thane of a slightly larger clan that borders your lands to the east. He wears a solemn expression and nods heavily when you approach him. Alfgar is in Valhall now, Akrenon. There is no doubt about it. He died doing what he loved. But while he feasts among the heroes, you are left back here to sort out the pieces. You've got your work cut out for you. What do you mean? Your father managed to make quite a few enemies in his time, most of them among his own clan. If you'll permit me to be honest, he never paid one speck of attention to the wishes or needs of his people. Surely, you are not expecting your claim to leadership to go uncontested. Okay. Let's go with the first option. I am the rightful Thane. If anyone thinks otherwise, we'll sort it out the traditional way. We have to make sure that we are not afraid. Good. Worse problems than this have been solved at the tip of a spear or the edge of a blade. May the gods favor you if it comes to that. Half-Thunder empties his mug of meat in a single gulp, then slams the mug on the table and calls to a troll for a refill. So that's another one. These two, this is our brother and one of our friends, so I'll first talk to the remaining things. What is this? Okay, so that was just a conversation of some the members of our village. I didn't make the start of the conversation, but I hope that you can read it for yourself. Even the start of the conversation. And here we have Asleifer Grimwardarson. Yeah. Asleifer is a distant cousin. Leadership of the clan has moved between your side of the family and his for generations. He's known as a skilled warrior and a hard worker. Asleifer sits with his two closest friends.
Our condolences on the passing of your father. At least he died the way he would have wanted. He will be feasting with the gods tonight.
Okay. So what do we tell him? Let's go this way. There is no need for pretense. You never respected my father. I will not ask that you begin now. Slifer seems to consider this for a while before replying. It's no secret I didn't agree with how Alfgar ruled our clan. Bearing this in mind, I don't see what gives you the right to succeed him. But this feast is in his honor, and I'll not insult his memory here, nor will I challenge your claim to leadership. You believe you would be more suited to lead? Asleifer leans forward and looks you directly in the eyes. I do. If you challenge my birthright, you'll pay with your life. Asleifer frowns deeply. We shall see. He returns attention to his companions. Okay, we are really good at making friends. And here we have Ragnhildur the White. Ragnhildur the White is the most influential of your guests, as the vassal of King Sigurdur Ringer. Those are horrible names. She is the current ruler of Denmark. She has come from the trade hub of Ribe to the south, where she presides as Jarl. She nods politely as you approach her seat. It was a beautiful ceremony, Emperor, and I extend my condolences for your loss on behalf of Ribe and of the king. I must tell you, I advised him not to seek out the isles across the sea. We have all heard the stories of the unprotected coast and their treasures, but there is more danger than the rumors let on. I'm not surprised they claimed his life, but I'm glad at least he died with a sword in his hand. Did you know Alfgar well? I knew him as a warrior. We fought together on the Bravalir, and he struck me as a shrewd tactician. When your king needs you, I hope that you will serve him as well as your father did. What do we also do? I don't think that we need to have the king as an enemy. I'm not sure that we are quite strong for that, or strong enough for that. Now let's go with this option. It doesn't really answer the question. My father told me everything he knew about combat. Jarl Ragnhildur nods once. I would expect nothing less of the man, but remember that no amount of practice is a substitute for actual experience. This is quite rude towards her, and she's probably quite powerful, so maybe let's just be polite. Thank you for accepting the invitation. We are honored that you could make it. Of course, your father's sword will be missed in our struggles against the Franks. If you'll excuse me, I must do the rounds. Enjoy the feast. Okay, the old shieldman smiles. She gracefully slides back down into her seat, whereupon she spears a large piece of chicken with her knife and dumps it on her plate. So that's the Thanes, and now we have still these two guys. Your elder brother, Rurik, always had a penchant for music. He looks up and gives you a warm smile as you approach him. Good quote, brother, Rurik grins. I mean, my other Thane, how do you feel? I'm fine, Rurik. How about yourself? Rurik shrugs. You can barely hear his soft voice over the din of the feast. I am certain father is feasting with Odin now. The old man will surely be more at home in Valhall than he ever was here. I don't really care about our brother, to be honest. I have to go and be a good host. I'll talk to you later. Your brother flashes you a cheeky grin. Just use the old signal if you need help to get out of a conversation with one of the other Thanes. So that's our brother, and now we have here Ketil Kobyar Narson.
Busy entertaining your guests?
Ketil is standing off to his side holding a horn full of meat. The young hunter appears to be watching the feast with a friendly, amused expression, and he nods respectfully when you come near. Let's say not too busy to check on you. Ketil shifts his weight restlessly. I've had an uneasy feeling all night. Have you seen Skulas Huskarls over there in the corner? Hrodgerda and Skaki? So these guys who, let's say, suggested that you may not be a Jarl for too long, belong to the Jarls sitting next to them. I've heard stories about them. Okay. Nefia seems to be expecting trouble too, so I've decided to go easy on the meat and keep an eye out. I appreciate that. It never hurts to be careful. He throws his head back slightly towards a slifer. Speaking of which, keep an eye on the big lug back there. He and his friends have been putting their heads together all night. I think he might be planning something. Slifer is family. He wouldn't attack me. Well, that doesn't sound right after what he told us, so I'll keep an eye on him. Leave the watch to me. This is your feast. You should relax and enjoy yourself. I'll alert you if something happens. So that's the end of dialogue, and here's our mother. This is not our mother, I think. No.
There you are. The feast seems to be off to a good start.
Nefia is one of your oldest friends. Your families have always been close, and you grew up together in the village. She's just finished pouring your mother a mug of mead. It's nice to see you out of your armor for once. Nefia snorted sarcastically. You have seen my sister in this dress before. Surely that's the same thing. She closes her eyes and rubs the bridge of her nose with a finger. God, she was so excited to see me like this. I'll never hear the end of it. Where is Ifra? Suddenly, undertone creeps into Nefia's voice. My poor sister has a fever again. She has such a frail constitution. All this wet cold is hard on her. Mother stayed home to care for her. What do you think of our guests? She chuckles. Your fellow Thanes are certainly a proud and graceful bunch, even as they plot to murder you and take our lands. That's certainly the sense I'm getting. She grimaces. Oh, I'm sure not all of them are actively planning to kill us. I have a weird feeling about Skula though. I doubt they call him Skullcleaver for no reason. Halfdowner plays the lovable old Grum, but I know he has had his eyes on our harbor for years. Runhilder, I'm not sure about. She probably has nothing to gain from destroying us, but she's little more than Sigurd Ring, this guy's appendage, and who knows where he stands. Let's talk later. I have to go be a good host. Okay, good luck and watch your back. So, to end this introduction part, we just have to take a seat. You can see that already in the first few dialogues we've made quite a few enemies. Following the initial meet and greet, everyone toasts to your father and digs into the meal. Food covers every inch of the table and the freshly brewed meat seems to flow endlessly. You are listening to Nefe's usual complaints about her mother when Kettle perks up and slips discreetly out of the longhouse. Outside, some piece of pottery crashes against the ground and men begin to shout. In short order, the door flies open and the doorway is filled with Ottar Erlingsson, sword in hand. Outside, you see his brother standing over the prone form of Ketil. Ottar looks around the room with disgust. What a splendid feast for such a shit tame! Ottar's gaze stops on you. He raises his sword to point at you accusingly. Akredon, your family had its chance to earn our respect, and you wasted it. Come outside and defend your honor, or we'll burn this hall to the ground. Nefia jumps to her feet, already holding her knife, her voice seething with disgust. Ottar, you miserable drunkard, how dare you attack your Thane's honor during his own feast? Your family will pay for this. Ottar has turned his back on you and is already walking back outside. All the other guests turn their gaze to you in anticipation. Your mother leans in to whisper in your ear. You have to handle this. If the other Thanes think we are too weak to deal with such a blow against our family's honor. Nefia, stay here, I handle this. Nidingar. Maybe... Yeah, I probably have to tell it this way. The shield maiden shakes her hand. The drunkard fool is here for a fight. I think you'll actually have to kill him this time. And... come on, can we move? There we go. So first of all, we have to take at least some gear. Take all. So here we can read something about the equipment. And... something more about the equipment. Okay, we want to have the bow in the main hand in the, let's say, active slot. Meat we can take as well, and that's all we have available right now. Did we get some more points maybe? Skills. No, still only 5 points, so we can't get the upgrade that I wanted. Well, whatever. Let's go out. And we will do this one fight before we end this video. Most of the guests follow you outside form a half circle behind you. You are dimly aware of the other Thanes muttering among themselves. Nefia runs over to Ketil to help him back on his feet. A streak of blood runs from his hair down his cheek, but it looks like he can still fight. 4 against 1. This is what the sons of Erlinger Torgislson consider a fair fight. Ottar's brother Tosta sneers. He sounds drunk. Shut your mouth, woman. He started it. Does your father know you are here destroying his name? Ottar shifts his weight restlessly as he regards the Thanes assembled behind you. He doesn't, but he will be proud of us when a Slifer is finally our Thane instead of you. Slifer steps forward and draws his weapon. You have gone too far, Ottar. There is no honor in this. I must take Akredon's side this time, or decide here. For a moment, confusion mixes with fright in Ottar's eyes, but he quickly composes himself. Fine, we'll kill you all. then I'll be Thane. And here's our first fight. So now we can see that the map has like an invisible hex grid. Here you can actually read everything for yourself. I think I don't have to explain things. So if you want, pause the video and read the whole description. Okay, so this is our group. Here it's them 4v4, and how are we gonna do it? We can freely switch among our characters. We can move in any order that we want. I think I'll start with Oslifer. Let's go here. I'll start with a stun. So that's one of our guys done for this turn. Next, let's probably use Nefia. See how much damage she can do. I'd like to get behind this stone here to get some cover from this archer. How much damage would this be? 80%. Well, 80% is decent. I'm hoping that I would actually kill him. Come on, die. Come on. It's like 3 hit points. Well, in that case, it's our chance to hit 95. Let's finish him off. And get into cover. By the way, I'm not sure if it was described in the tutorial, but there's this button where we can either go for only incapacitation or for kills. In the first combat, it doesn't matter, they'll always end up only incapacitated. But later we have to decide if we want to kill our enemies or only basically stun them. So we just turn on or off lethal combat. It's this option. I like to forget it, so sometimes I kill people that we are not supposed to kill. At least that's, again, my experience from the short test run. Hopefully I'll remember it more often now. Okay, so our first turn. I'm not sure that we are covered, but this is the best we can do. Demoralized. It's like AoE debuff. Now he just moved a bit and he'll be able to shoot. And missed. Okay, can we shoot him? 50%. This is why I wanted to have the aimed shot, because the difference is quite significant. That's one. Or maybe what I should also do is use the ranging shot. That's pretty much a free action, and whatever is or whoever is standing in the range of this small like light or fire, we have extra like 10% chance to hit him, or all our archers have that extra chance. So maybe I should have started with that. It's only 60% though, or 30% with the quick shot. Well, let's try our luck. No. And let's go for another stun. The reason why the chance to hit is so low is probably that the demoralized debuff that is active now. Okay, what's gonna be? This is a healer, so this time he decided to heal. Okay, so they are running into cover. Let's try again. Now we'll use all the attacks against this guy and he should go down. 95, 80, yeah, let's go for the quick shot. So, that's another one down. We can't use stun anymore, we had only 2 charges. What is this? Ready. I'll just run to him and attack. There is a zone of control in this game, so he can't just run away. He can use a special ability that allows him to run away, but then he won't be able to attack. What I have to do now is try to get at least some cover here. Okay, another demoralize, better than attack. And here, just gonna try it. Yeah. And we blocked the shot. Okay. This should be a kill. And we should be able to kill this guy as well now. Oh, description of blocking. So if you want to read, you can pause the video. And now it's over. So that's the first fight. Combat results. Ottar Erlingsson lies on the frozen earth in a small pool of his own blood. His blind eyes gaze at the sky. Only brother who made it through alive is slowly getting to his feet. Really? Oh, so it does work, the lethal combat. I thought that they'll always end up only stunned. Well, that's wrong, it seems. Made it through alive is slowly getting to his feet. He looks at his dead brothers with distant shock in his eyes. Nefia regards the aftermath of the fight with a mixture of disdain and sadness. What do we do with him? Execute him. The grim work does not take long. Your guests look on solemnly as the snow in front of you feast. Your guests look on solemnly as the snow in front of your feast hall turns red with the blood of the farmers. If any of them doubt your resolve before, now they see what you are made of. You just had to show strength to other Thanes. So here is the execution. Aslifer steps forward. He looks not the least bit tired from the fight. I supported you here tonight because Ottar and his brothers were out of line. It is not the way of our clan to kill each other in drunken brawls. Akredon, son of Alfgar, I challenge you to a duel for a position of Thane. An excited murmur rises among the guests. Kettle mutters in a voice too low for anyone other than you and Nefia to hear. Can you believe this, you Solar? I have no idea what that means, but I guess it's nothing nice. It is right to issue such a challenge. His timing could be better, though. A Slifer, son of Grim Warrior, I accept your challenge. He nods, apparently satisfied. We'll meet on Holmgang Island at noon on the morrow. May the gods favor you. Okay. So this starts another quest, but we will do that in the next part. Did we get any points, by the way? Yeah, we got 15 points now, so I'll take what I want to take before. Where is it? Here, keen eyes. And this will be the last action for this video. So I hope that you liked this first part of the Let's Play. I hope that you liked the game, and I hope that you're going to join me for the next part. And until then, have a good time. Bye bye.